I think Indian technology industry per se is at a cusp of a great leap forward. That's my personal belief. If you look at it, when I joined the industry 18 years back, the biggest names used to be the most preferred companies used to be Infosys, TCS, and companies like that, which are primarily in domain of providing solutions to many manufacturing and insurance companies providing software solutions. But if you look at what has happened over the transition, there has been a lot of depth built on building software quality products, which is a great time and great leap forward for us. To quote an example, if you have been following Economic Times or Times of India or any of the newspapers now, we are seeing a lot of startups which are coming in. This itself is a demonstration of what we are achieved and what we can potentially achieve. And from the technology space, there is a whole bunch of innovation happening around. There is disruptions across the globe which is making life simpler for every one of us. So for example, today, if you want to go to your friend's house, previously we used to catch an auto in India. Now you have Uber and Ola, which are essentially taxi services but built on great technology platforms. And these are things which are going to define the way we are going to do things in the future. IoT is another area where every device is going to be connected. I'm sure some of you guys would have heard about things like Tesla, which is a nobody few years back even imagined that we would have a completely electric powered car which would not be looking great. So the fusion of great user experiences with technology platforms is what I think is going to define the future of this industry, and I see a very bright future for the technology space as such in India.
The way we look at it, the way I have been a part of the journey, and what I see is that 10 years ago it was more of outsourcing, get stuff to India, get the execution implementation part of it done here at probably the most cost effective way possible, and then the brains of the whole IT used to be not in India. I think it's been 10 to 12 years it's shifted, but in the last 3 or 4 years there is a marked difference in not just saying that the conceptualization is in India, but more so what exactly is the value add you bring to the table. IT, if you see in this world today in India, it's highly commoditized, almost the outsourcing part of it, the services part of it, because what you do is what your neighbor does as well. So if I am a client, why should I choose you? Of course, given the price points and the economics of it, keeping aside those things, why should I come to A company versus B? Now that's where I think the Indian IT industry is changing. In fact, I read somewhere around a few years ago that the services sector has grown 33% more expensive in India than it used to be 5 years ago. So why are we saying that still companies need to come to India? Because we bring the value add. Now what's that value add? In terms of industry experience, in terms of the business outcomes that we concentrate on, it's not all about writing a code. At the end of it, there has to be an end goal. So what is that end goal? In fact, a lot of people are thinking on those lines, but it would be great if we start thinking in this fashion early enough. Why not involve people from college directly into this? That's the idea of where and how Indian IT is changing and how we should be a part of it. I think there are quite a few advantages. The most prominent one being we can choose between products. Because I am from a services company, now there are a lot of products that we use in terms of innovation or to get something done at a lower cost, be it anything, we use a lot of products. So we can get to choose between products, and we have this unbiased view because we get to see what each product offers, what's the best for the client. So in a sense, we have to choose the products for our client, and therefore we go through every product, the line, what is the offering, and decide what's the best given the context, whichever the client is. So in that sense, you need to have an open mind and try and look at all the products as something that they're trying to offer to the end client. Now, what is it? What is the economics of it? Those are the things that we need to figure out. But if you take a look at it from a student's point of view, what skills are needed to survive and excel in a services industry? As I said, one is the right attitude. Do not get hung up on a piece of product or a code. Now, every product has a lot of thinking behind it, and every product is good for a certain context. So we need to figure out what's the best. Now, have an open mind, as I said, but then move on. You need to be technically sound as well, and because you need to understand what the product offers. And lastly, if not the most important one, is how do I figure out that, okay, A product has B technology, etc. All that is figured out fine. In this industry,
Good time to talk about the IT industry itself, the way it's going, right? Because
Yeah.
there was a boom and there were a lot of jobs and there was always an overcapacity or rather over demand
Right.
that was in the market. But with the amount of automation coming in, the amount of cloud deployments happening,
Right.
probably the number of jobs is also going to reduce, which means that the quality of the people has to go up to be able to get the good jobs.
Right, definitely. I mean, I think right now we are lucky, and that luck is not going to stay forever, right? It is just, the companies are going after, colleges, university systems to hire 100, 200, 400 people. That is because right now we have an opportunity and they are trying to maximize on that opportunity. That is not going to last forever, actually. And that's where you have to be in a differentiator category to succeed. And we are going to see bad times in our lifetime, actually, right? Whether it's going to happen in the next 2 years, 4 years, 8 years, I have no idea. But we are going to have it, actually. And that's where the problem comes out, actually. And I don't want to see that problem, coming out of, multiplying because of the university systems or, students themselves not applying themselves and, improving, or taking it to the next level, actually.